Raihana's Cuisines. Today we're going to be making an Indian dish that I've grown up with. It's called Chana Bateta, which is basically chickpeas and potatoes. So here we go. These are the black, or they're called black chickpeas. You can find them at any Asian stores or any of the Indian stores. What I did was I took about 2 cups of these. I want to show you. Basically, this is what they look like here. This is what they look like, and this is what it's gonna look like when you soak them overnight and then you boil them until they're, you know, just nice and soft. So I just wanted to show you, you know, the difference. There's just a little prep work that goes in, but if you get these boiled and soaked overnight and boiled, then this dish really works really fast. So what I usually do is I usually make, like, I buy a 4-pound bag or a 2-pound bag. I soak it overnight, I boil it, and then once they're boiled, I make little containers and freeze it. So anytime I want to make this Chana Bateta, they're ready. You know, I have some in the freezer, and all I have to do is defrost it and boil some potatoes, and we're ready to go. So let's get started and let's discuss what we have here for our ingredients. But give me a second here. My stove does that at times. So, oh, there we go. So what we're gonna do here is I'm just gonna start heating up the pan. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. Eyeball it. While that's getting real nice and hot, let's discuss what we have here. So I have here 2. Now these were 2 cups unboiled, and once they get boiled, they'll become a little bit bigger in size. So we've got the black chickpeas here. I've got some tomato sauce here, about 1.5 cups we're going to use, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Before I go further, this recipe is from Fatima Mullah. So thank you very much. They turned out really, really good, although I had to do a substitute, which I'll tell you what in just a minute. I'm going to have half a lime here. We're going to use that for garnishing, and also the fresh chopped coriander we're going to use later. I've got some turmeric here, cumin, mustard seeds, chili powder or cayenne, some fresh ginger garlic, and some green chutney, salt to taste, and boiled potatoes. And the oil looks like it's coming around, so I'm just going to go ahead and add this in here real quick, and we'll wait for this to pop. And I did forget an ingredient, so I'm going to show you how I usually, like I said in one of the other recipes, I had mentioned that what I do with the curry leaves is I just bring them and put them in the freezer. So here we go. I'm doing it right now. Just took them out of the freezer. They're not black. They're nice and green. I'm going to add that into our pot. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I love these leaves, curry leaves. So I do add more in it. You can always opt to leave it out or add less, but I love it, so why not? We're just gonna let this pop real quickly, and then we are also going to, now the thing that I was gonna tell you with the recipe that Fatima gave me was that she used mashed potatoes as a thickening agent. I could have sworn I had mashed potatoes at home today, but looked for it, I don't have any. So we're gonna improvise. We're gonna do just white all-purpose flour. I took about a tablespoon of it with about 1/2 cup of or 3/4 cup of water, and I just mixed it, and we're going to use this as our thickening agent. And I did make her recipe before, and with the mashed potatoes it works out awesome. So, but we'll have to improvise today, but it's something to keep in mind that anytime you want to use anything as a thickening agent, mashed potatoes is the best. So the flakes, what you would do is just, you know, once we get to the curry part, you know, you just add the mashed potatoes in there and wait for it to thicken up. And then I'm also going to go ahead and grab my kettle here, because we're going to need to add a little bit of water in there. So this dish is going to go really quickly because we have all the prep work done, which is just soaking the black chickpeas overnight and boiling them. So that's the only prep work, and the other one was just, you know, I just took like 2 potatoes and stuck them in the microwave and just cut it into bite-sized pieces. So now looks like they're coming around here. And at this point, what I am going to do is I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste in here. And we're just going to cook it just for a little bit. I love the taste of the tomato paste when it's cooked into the oil. So here we go. At this point, what I am going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our seasoning in there. I'm going to go ahead and add our cayenne, about a teaspoon of cumin powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of fresh and ginger garlic paste, and about a tablespoon to 2 of the green chutney. Make sure you guys see my tutorial on that. I use the green chutney in almost everything. Okay, we're gonna just stir this, and then we're gonna also add our salt in here. And obviously the salt is going to be for your taste, so make sure you always try your food before you put it on the table or serve it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add our 1 cup of tomato sauce in here. Now the trick to this is basically we're going to let this cook until we see the oil separate from it. So we're going to give it about a minute. And you can also add some tamarind paste or tamarind chutney to this. It tastes really, really good. I also have a recipe of fritters black-eyed fritters, which are the bhajias, on my YouTube video. Make sure you watch that because we usually have the fritters with the Chana Bateta. They go kind of hand in hand like ketchup and mustard do. So here we're just gonna wait. It's just cooking up just a little bit. Okay, the taste is really, really good. The salt is just perfect in it. And I don't know if you can see here, but it's coming to where the oil is separating. Like, I don't know if you can see the, you know, the dark colors of the oil here. See right there, right there, right there. That means that the oil is separating. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add my black chickpeas in there, potatoes, give it a good stir. Then we'll go ahead and add some water. And add as much water as you would like to have it. If you feel like you want to have them, don't want to have too much water and have them dried, that's fine. We like ours where they're just a little bit, have the gravy in there, so they're really good when you kind of dip the fritters in there. And at this point, I'm just going to give it a minute for it to start boiling. Once it starts boiling, we're going to add the thickening agent in there. And if you were doing this with mashed potatoes, you would do the same thing. You'd wait for it to just boil just a little bit, and then you start adding a little bit in there, stir it, add a little bit more, stir it, and then when you have the consistency that you like, which would be, I'm trying to think here, maybe a creamed soup consistency would be it, because if you just did regular soup, that would be like, it would be too watery. So like a creamed soup consistency would be good. And what I'm gonna do is I have a boil here, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my thickening agent in here and then stir it so that I get one more boil, and then we'll be ready to add the fresh lime in it and also the fresh coriander on it in it. Now the thing is, now because we added the water in there, just make sure that you really give it another taste test, because you might need to add a little bit of salt, a little bit more cayenne or chili powder in it. So we're just gonna wait until this gets just a little bit more thickened here. And once it comes to a boil, it will give us the consistency of the thicker soup that I'm looking for. And I'm already getting the consistency here that I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this just a quick taste test to make sure. And I was right, because we need to add a little bit more salt in it. Okay, so we got that, and I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze our lime in it. Okay. And the spoon that I tasted the food with, the soup with, was this one. And I'm not gonna reuse that spoon, just to let you know that when we're cooking, we have to be really sanitary, that we don't stick, you know, the same spoon we use to taste test, we don't stick it back into our food. One, it's gonna spoil very quickly because the mouth has a lot of bacteria in it. And two, I don't think anybody wants to eat your bacteria. So please, please, always when you're cooking, that's one of the cleanliness. We always use different utensils when you give it a taste test. Even if you're just making it for your own family. It's just something that, you know, it's nice to always stay clean, and you don't know if you're, you know, if you are carrying something like a virus or a flu and you just don't want to spread it. So I'm gonna go ahead and, just because we added the lime and the salt, I'm gonna give it another taste test. Perfect. So there you have it. We are all done. I've got it where it's just perfectly thickened. I don't want it any more thickened than this. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this a quick taste test here. I think it'll be better if I grab another spoon here, so bear with me. And I'm gonna go grab another spoon, so I'm not gonna contaminate even my own. I'm gonna make sure I put up a video on how to make coconut chutney that goes really well with this, and also some tamarind chutney that goes really well with this. Make sure you check out my video on the bhajias because they turn out excellent. So make sure you check out those videos. Write me a comment or two. This concludes our episode of Chana Bateta, or black chickpeas with potatoes. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great recipe. See you then, friends.